Zeppelin are a band that people compare you to a lot. Is it annoying that people are saying you're just the new Zeppelin, or does that help?
I mean, it's not an insult, you know. They were the greatest band of, like, well, to me, the greatest band of all time. You know, they were really good at their craft, and individually as musicians, they were fantastic. Like, Jimmy Page is an innovator for guitar riffs. John Bonham is a powerhouse. John Paul Jones is a multi-instrumentalist god, and Robert Plant is just soulful. So to be compared to those guys, it's an honor, because they were the top dogs of their decade or their genre or whatever. And I mean, we always have this thing as just like, if I didn't let my hair go curly and I kept straightening it like I used to do back when I was
see the old pictures.
Yeah, the old pictures are bad. There's like, would I still get this comparison? Is this because I've got blondish curly hair? Is that what they go for immediately? And because we all kind of dress kind of 70s inspired or hippie inspired with those colours and flares, because that's what we think rock stars or rock kind of people would wear.
That's the image of rock.
It's the image, you know, and the flamboyancy-ness of it all, of like gender-defying clothes and us wearing women's clothes, you know. It's like Elton John or something like that. And so I think that's what they gravitate, because they're just focusing on the look. And we always say a band is 50% looks, 50% sound, especially when live. So you've got to give them something visually to catch onto. Like, there's bands out there who just wear another band's t-shirt, and like, that's cool. Like, you are wearing your heart there, you know, you've shown your inspirations. But I think for what we thought is, like, we're there for us, and we don't want to be not promoting any other band, but kind of just put on a show.
And is that something that you guys have come up with on your own? Because there's a lot of bands now, like, if you go to download, 50% of the bands that are playing are wearing the same shit on stage as guys that are doing the shopping in Morrison's.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone from, in the 70s and 80s, bands looking like bands, to, in most areas of rock, bands looking like the average Joe.
Yeah.
Their thing being like one of the people. Do you think that's something that is like holds back a lot of bands, and is something, 'cause you guys have done really well really fast, and you clearly stand out as not looking like an average Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps, because when you put on a show, something like cabaret-ish, you know, you put on a suit, or it's also a headspace of when we put on those clothes, we're there for the music, and it's like, we're on our scruffs now and we're just chilling and having a good time. But when we were there in that kind of moment with those clothes on, you feel different. In a sense, we always go, I feel like the shit, you know what I mean? I feel like the guy. So it helps boost, I think, for me, confidence, because I'm just like, I'm flamboyant and I'm being out there and peacocking, as Lisa would say. So, and I think some bands, it works really well for just wearing a band t-shirt and skinny jeans, like the emo bands of the 2000s. That's all they did. And it was just like, that was cool to me at one point. I was like, yeah, awesome. But I think for whatever you're playing, you kind of have to dress a certain way, or people won't really get it. Because imagine if we played doom metal and we were wearing what we were wearing.
It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't work.
No.
You know, there is definitely some sort of boxes that you have to kind of fill and like check, make sure you've got that. But, you know, I don't think the clothes define the musician, but it can help kind of make an image for that musician.
Yeah, it's a look that complements the sound, as we want to portray that sound visually as well. You know, we play on stage with obviously a big old school looking backline, you know, and we dress the way we do. And I say quite a lot, like, people will go into a venue, see what's on the stage, and they will like listen with their eyes, and they go, oh, because there's loads of like Marshall stacks on stage, then it's gonna sound better. Yeah. And that's just like a thing that happens in your mind. So when we walk on stage wearing the clothes we do, it just complements the music.
Yeah. And, you know, there's loads of big artists now, not even essentially just in rock music, but in pop music. So they got Benson Boone. He wears like those jumpsuits, and Sabrina Carpenter, she always wears that like corset thing with sequins on it. You're putting on a show. It's almost like I said, it's cabaret-ish. And yeah, you've got to give them something to like look at and catch. So that's kind of why we do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think obviously that makes a lot of sense, and everyone you've just named is somebody that's like an arena or stadium artist. I think there's a lot of bands that think that they're never going to get there, so they're not going to bother looking like
You
a band that's there.
dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yeah.
Is that like the goal from the start then? Did you always think we're going to do well and we're going to play big shows?
I don't know. Maybe.
We always had the mindset, like playing in the pubs, we crammed as much stuff as we could in there. I
Lights,
feel sorry for some of the
smoke
people.
machines.
Yeah, we literally would bring in like a 10,000 watt PA system with like full like lighting set up, all programmed, and like the full back line. And we always said we're going to bring an arena show to a pub. We want to bring as much as we possibly can to the pub, because it's, you know, I mean, bands playing pubs with like tiny little speakers and modelers, and, you know, that's fine. I mean, most people will listen to it as background music and enjoy that, and that's great. But as we've said, we like to come across in that way, that this is the music that we like, this is the music we want to create, and it is kind of that like arena rock sound, you know, maybe like not like 80s arena rock, it's a bit more like 70s kind of inspired, but it's that vibe, it's that sound. So yeah, the mentality has always been to come across that way with that level of production. But I think probably back when we were playing open mic nights, you probably wouldn't believe we would have played a stadium last month. That was quite a jump. But yeah, it's always like, you know, that's always a goal.
Do you think that the sort of Zeppelin comparison with everything that you wear is why you've done well internationally? Because someone says, oh, they sound like this, then you turn up looking like that, and they understand what you are before.
Yeah. I think it definitely it's helped, you know, because it's, once again, it's reminding probably an older generation of what Zeppelin were back in their prime, and that we remind them of that. So yeah, I think it definitely helps. And there's the band feel as well, and Greta Van Fleet, they all dress the kind of way we do, and that helped them, and they're kind of just showing who they are.
I mean, that's another one that sort of got criticised for being too Zeppelin. Do you look at any of that criticism and worry that you're going to get it?
Oh, we're already getting it.
It just happens.
No, we don't particularly worry about it, because the influences we all have individually is what Zeppelin had individually, like influence-wise. So me being like inspired by folk, country and blues, that's what also Robert Plant was inspired by. And I'm also from Birmingham. He's also from Birmingham. It's like I'm going to chew my words the way he does. And yeah, we kind of sound alike when I sing. But that's because, I don't know, I think it's just where I'm raised, Brummie. And so, yeah, I mean, we're getting the comparisons and we're getting the criticism, but it's mainly due to appearances, because the album isn't out yet. People haven't had a chance to really listen to it, because we put out the tracks for singles, which are like the most catchy, and we feel like the audience can resonate with, and they have that kind of 60s, 70s cock rock vibe. And but when the album comes out in, what was it, 3 days? Yeah. Hopefully they can listen to the other songs that we haven't released as singles and be like, okay, that's nothing like Zeppelin. They've actually different influences here, and they actually sit down and listen and be like, okay, that's cool.